Recording.
All right, we can get rolling. Greg Pickle, we'll start with you.
Coach, how you doing? Thanks for your time.
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Really appreciate getting to chat with you today. I think it's obviously fair to say it might have been a whirlwind couple of weeks here for you, but why is Penn State the right place for you right now? And just what has this whole maybe last 3 weeks been like for you?
It's been a little hectic, but Penn State the right place for me because of the people here. Obviously, Coach James Franklin. He a great leader, awesome man. Treats my family wonderfully. I love this Penn State community, this university, and things come up, man. I had to explore because it was the school I went to, my university. But at this time in my career, this is the right place for me to be under the leadership of Coach Franklin, and I'm excited to be here.
Go to Rich Garcella. Mike Porman, you're on deck.
Hey, Anthony, thanks for doing this. Hello?
Yes, sir. I'm there. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, now I can. Yeah. Hey, how well do you know Manny Diaz? And do you think how well your philosophy fit with his?
Well, I know who Manny is, Coach Diaz is, but I had never really met him personally. But I think everything that he does fits with my philosophy. Obviously I'm not hard pressed on one idea of how you run defense. I think it's the people in the room. All the ideas can work if we all working together. Coach Franklin wouldn't hire somebody that he didn't feel fit the philosophy of what he wanted to get done. So I'm excited to have Coach Diaz here, excited to get to work with him. And, I think the future very bright here.
Mike Porman.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Nick. Anthony, quick question for you. Adam Rittenberg of ESPN reported that you texted him that you were staying at Penn State and said there will be a day. What did that mean? And what are your aspirations to be league coordinator and eventually head coach?
Well, honestly, a lot of this stuff just came up overnight. But I just try to work at the place I'm working at the moment. I try to stay in the moment as much as I can. Like I say, Coach Franklin, awesome to work for. Penn State is an awesome university. And I just love being in this moment. I can't say what the future holds for me, but just how I done pursued my career or went through my career, I show up at a place and I put my heart and soul into that place and just try to keep my head down and try to do the best job I can for the university I'm working for.
Do you have career goals though?
I do. I can't say that eventually one day I wouldn't want to be a head coach. I think, most of us that's in the business, we all have aspirations to be a head coach, but I think it'll happen when it happens. It just, this opportunity wasn't the right time. And, I've just felt that in my soul and felt that in my heart that it wasn't the right time. So I came back and, like I say, I'm ready to work.
Thanks.
Go to Mike Gross. Dave Jones, you're on deck. You're muted there, Mike. There you go.
Okay. All right. Anthony, hi.
Hey.
I hope you don't think that we're beating you to death over this Virginia thing, but I think it's interesting. Were you surprised that this came up? Because it's a pretty big deal to be the head coach at the place where you played. Did it kind of catch you by surprise a little bit?
Yeah, I have to say it did a little bit. And like I say, it caught me by surprise a little bit. But, once I started to explore it, and Coach Franklin was great through the whole deal, it just, again, it wasn't the right time to go back. And I just felt like I should come back to Penn State and work for Coach and keep getting my tutelage under him. And like I say, we got an awesome staff here, awesome people that we work with all the time. And, I'm happy to be here.
Dave Jones.
Hi, Anthony. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
This is the first time you get to drive the race car. So what, at least here, what philosophies, what influences have you, obviously you were at UVA for a long time. I suppose Al Groh influenced you. Who are the names, who are the people that have the most influence on you throughout your career as far as philosophy of defense?
Well, I don't think my philosophy comes into play right now. I think the philosophy of what we do here at Penn State is in play. I'm not here to switch our whole playbook in a month and try to get ready for a bowl game. We played great defense this year, and Coach Pryor was an excellent leader. So I gathered all the knowledge from him, and our staff has a lot of knowledge of this system, and we're just going to play the defense we've been playing all year. And, it's the last game of the season, and we want to go down and compete and continue to show why we were one of the best defenses in the country.
Go to Will Pegler. Andrew Destin, you're next.
Hey, Anthony, thanks very much for taking the time this morning. I know it's early in the process. James explained that you guys are kind of starting Arkansas practices now and this week. What stands out to you so far in preparing to defend Arkansas's offense?
Obviously they very well coached, great personnel, excellent quarterback, excellent receivers, really good running backs. They can throw multiple running backs at you. Obviously a really good O-line. I think they're the 12th ranked rushing offense in the country. And, in that league, that's saying a lot. So we're going to have our challenges, but, I think they're really driven by their quarterback. He's an excellent player. He can throw the ball. He can make all the throws. He can use his legs in the run game. So we have our work cut out for us, but I think our kids will be up for the challenge.
Andrew Destin, Joe Smeltzer, you're up next.
Coach, on the note of the earlier question from Dave about being able to call plays on defense again, what excites you on a personal level about that opportunity to do that here in the bowl game?
Well, what excites you is that, you get to put your flair or your thought process to it. Not saying that Coach Pryor, he wanted a lot of input from us as a staff. And obviously I was in the box and, he asked me, certain things in certain situations, but, you get to call the game. I think, like I say, I'm not going to go off the rails and turn this into a whole different defense. Coach Pryor did an excellent job of creating the culture and creating the systems that we run here. And we just try to make the best plan for Arkansas, which fit what we do, and try to go execute it.
Joe Smeltzer, Tyler Donahue, you're next.
Coach, you're not even through a full season on Penn State staff. Just in the past year, how much better do you think you've gotten at your profession, and what improvements and I guess do you think you've made just in your short time at Penn State?
Well, I think, coming here and playing on this level with the, every game a big game here. I think just professionally, just being in the moment more, really focusing on the opponent at hand, really honing the details of what we do and the philosophy of which or why we do it. Just being able to, obviously when you're new, you got to learn to work with different guys and different personalities, which I think we have a beautiful staff all together, but defensively we really mesh together well. And like I said, I'm gonna call the game, but Terry, John, and the rest of the guys in the staff room, Coach Lord, they all gonna be there to help me and give me input.
Tyler Donahue.
Hi, Anthony. Hope you're doing well. I don't know if you were asked about Driver and Flowers to this point. Were you?
No, I haven't been.
Okay, if I could, we learned that they're going to end up in the defensive backfield to begin their careers. There were some questions about that with their recruitments. Are they going to be with you in the safeties room? And what's your kind of case? It sounded like, according to Franklin, there were some cases being made by a few position coaches on what made the most sense.
Well, I mean, when you recruit guys that are two position and two-sided players like that, it makes your team a lot better. Obviously it's up to Coach Franklin and obviously the prospects of where they want to start. But I think we're going to start them in the DB room. We just started to evaluate. Me and Terry Are they corners? Do they got movements of corners? Or are they going to strictly be safety? You know, we got some evaluation to do. We got some time once they get in and start working out with the team to look at them. But, you know, obviously I'm excited about both kids being in the secondary in whatever role that might present.
Go to Samuel Freeman. Greg Pickle, you're on deck.
Hey, Coach, thanks for your time. Obviously, the defense is entering a little bit of a transitory period with Manny's hire and, presumably with a couple guys entering the draft and graduating. Coming into the Outback Bowl, how do you find balance between evaluating the younger guys and experimenting with the defense for next year versus, leaning on those vets if there is a balance between those?
Well, I think, Coach Franklin has done a great job with the setup of practices where, initial practices, we got a lot of young guys reps. We're still getting a lot of the young guys reps. We haven't gotten to the bowl site yet. So it's a lot of guys that's getting work on the grass that normally wouldn't get work on the grass in a normal week. I think we still in the defense that Coach Pry installed, just like I stated earlier. I think once this bowl game over, then we'll start to transition to Coach Diaz's defense. But right now, we still doing what we do, doing what we've been doing with Coach Pry. I think the kids comfortable with it. And, again, like I say, a lot of these young kids get a chance to really, show us what they have and show us what they can do and with good on good setting.
Greg Pickle, John Petishnock, you're next.
Coach, just one quick follow-up on the idea. You said you were up in the box, obviously. Are you going to call the Outback Bowl from the box or on the field? And then just in general, this might be a dumb question, but if you'll oblige me, the co-defensive coordinator, what exactly is that role? I mean, I think most of us can assume you're not up there calling plays half the time, of course, but what exactly does that mean leading up to a game, during a game? And does it change from place to place, as, for example, when you were at Purdue versus now at Penn State?
Well, I think to your first question, I really haven't decided up or down. I think it's going to be what's best for the kids and what's best for us just trying to win the game. But the co-defensive coordinator, it can mean a lot of different things. For me, it's just coming in and being a sounding board for the coordinator. I think Coach Pride did a great job of letting me feel involved, even though I was, what you would say, the young guy on the staff, as far as knowing the system and knowing the scheme. But he did a great job of involving us all, really. But me in particular with my situation, things I had done in the past, things that could help him or help our scheme, things that we could do better. Not that he took all what I had done, but he did a great job of just listening and, hey, that sounds like we should use it. Or, we've been doing it this way. This is why. Okay, coach, I think that's the best way to do it because the kids understand it. So, the co-coordinator title, it means different things in different places, but you're really just a sounding board for the coordinator. Obviously, the coordinator calls the game, but, Coach Pride did a great job with all of us of letting us have our input and really assisting him with, when we went to the game, the calls that we all like to call.
We have time for a couple more. We'll go John Petishnock and then Andrew Clay.
Hey, Anthony, going down to the Outback Bowl, obviously the game itself is the number one priority, but just from looking at the Bowl website, it looks like there's going to be opportunities for the team to spend some time together off the field at some community events. What's the value for the team to spend time together, off the field and spend a little bit of time in the community that you're going to be playing in?
I think it's very valuable. I mean, these kids worked all year, starting way back, when the season ended last year, really, and preparing for a season. And, the bowl is we going to win the game. That's the main goal. But, it's also a little reward for the kids to be able to go down to Florida, be able to be as one, be like a family there, spend our last days as this unit together, and this team together, and be able to get out in the community, man, and show, how we've been blessed with the opportunities we have. And maybe we can give back or give some light to somebody's life that, doesn't have as much light or need a pick me up while we there. And I think just be awesome. I'm looking forward to just spending time with these guys. I told my guys the other day, I said, this has been one of the funniest years I've ever had in coaching. And it's been because of who's in the room and who's in this building. I mean, we have a good time. We want to win the game, but we really enjoy each other's company. So I really love it. And like I say, it's been a really fun year.
Andrew Clay.
Hey, Coach. I wanted to ask you about KJ Jefferson and Arkansas's offense. Does that at all remind you of a team you've seen this year?
It's kind of a lot of teams we didn't see. A lot of people running this tempo style offense. I think the thing that they bring a little bit different than what we've seen for the most part is the QB run game. Their QB, they got truly designed runs for the QB that we got to be ready to defend. But, most of the offense we ain't seen bits and pieces of, but I think if you're looking at it at first initial glance, oops.
Hey, Mike, do you want to just finish that answer really quick? Sorry. Dex, you're good to go. Yep. All right, guys, sorry about that. All right, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll have defensive players at noon. Thanks.